Christmas period. Police. Customers of a German bank chant, "Let us in," after thieves robbed the branch and made off with more than $10 million worth of money and valuables.
Gelsenkirchen is a quiet city in western Germany, known more for football than for crime. But during the Christmas holidays, something shocking happened beneath its streets. While families were celebrating and businesses were closed, a local Sparkasse bank became the target of one of the most professional bank robberies Germany has ever seen. Thousands of people trusted this bank with their most valuable possessions, believing they were protected behind concrete, steel, and security systems. Inside the bank's underground vault were more than 3,000 safe deposit boxes. These boxes held cash, gold, jewelry, important documents, and family heirlooms passed down for generations. For many customers, these boxes were safer than their own homes. What no one realized was that the biggest threat would not come through the front door, but from a place nobody was watching closely. The thieves did not use violence, weapons, or explosions. Instead, they chose patience and precision. Over the Christmas weekend, they entered a nearby underground parking garage connected to the bank. From there, they used heavy industrial drilling equipment to bore through a thick reinforced concrete wall. Steel bars were cut cleanly and a perfectly shaped hole was created, leading directly into the vault. Once inside, the criminals ignored the main bank vault. Their focus was clear and calculated. They targeted the safe deposit boxes belonging to customers. Over several hours, they methodically broke open more than 90% of the boxes. Investigators later noted that empty boxes were skipped, suggesting the thieves knew exactly which ones contained valuables. Cash, gold, jewelry, and personal treasures were removed and packed efficiently. There was no chaos, no rushing, and no unnecessary damage. When the operation was complete, the thieves left the same way they entered, without triggering alarms or drawing attention. At the time, no one inside the city had any idea that the vault had already been emptied. The crime remained undiscovered until 2 days later. On the morning after the holiday weekend, a fire alarm was triggered inside the bank. There was no fire. The alarm was caused by fine dust left behind from the drilling. When emergency services and police arrived and entered the vault, they were confronted with a scene of destruction unlike anything they had seen before. Rows of safe deposit boxes were destroyed. Metal doors were bent open and debris covered the floor. Very quickly, the scale of the crime became clear. More than 2,700 customers had been affected. Initial estimates placed the value of the stolen goods at around 30 million euros, but lawyers for the victims warned the real losses could be far higher. As news spread, crowds gathered outside the bank. Many people learned about the robbery through television and social media. Customers waited for hours, hoping their box had survived. For most of them, it had not. People described feelings of shock, numbness, and disbelief as they realized that years of savings and irreplaceable family memories were gone. Another painful discovery followed. The bank's basic insurance coverage for safe deposit boxes was limited, covering only a small fraction of what many customers had stored. Anger quickly turned into protests and legal action. Lawyers began preparing lawsuits against the bank, accusing it of serious security failures and demanding compensation for the losses. Police launched a massive investigation involving hundreds of officers. Evidence rooms filled with photos, maps, and CCTV footage. Cameras showed the suspects leaving the parking garage using a black Audi RS6 and a white Mercedes van, both fitted with stolen license plates. Despite this, the identities of the thieves remained unknown, and an inside job could not be ruled out. Months later, the case remains open. The drilled hole in the concrete wall has become a symbol of how vulnerable even the most secure systems can be. For the victims, justice still feels distant. For the authorities, the pressure remains high. And for the rest of the country, one question lingers in the air. If it happened here, could it happen again? Months later, the case remains open. The drilled hole in the concrete wall has become a symbol of how vulnerable even the most secure systems can be. For the victims, justice still feels distant. For the authorities, the pressure remains high. And for the rest of the country, one question lingers in the air. If it happened here, could it happen again?